Welcome back. We're live before today's main show, so get ready. We're just chilling, we're chatting, I'm taking a look at some of the crazier stuff going on out there. So I hope you're looking forward to this. I know I am, and it's going to be good fun all the way. And then we're going to be jumping on over to the main show with Nacy. Yes, indeed. I know you're all going to enjoy that. There we go. We're back. We are live. Jimmy Jeans in the chat room. I messaged you on Skype earlier on, dude. You're more than welcome to come and hang out with me and Nacy when we take to the airwaves right after today's live stream. But we're just chilling. We're just chatting. So if you've got something more important to be doing right now, no offense is taken here, honestly. Because there'll be nothing serious coming your way in the next hour and 10 minutes. I can guarantee you that. So if you want to just chillax, get away from the cray-cray that's happening out there and have a bit of fun, this is the place to be. We've got new music. Nice and chilled. Yes, indeed. We've even got new fancy pop-up graphics on the way. Don't worry, I'm not doing too much. We're not altering. We're not moving out of the studio just yet. But yes, still working away in the background, and it's been a nice, chillaxed little day here, I must admit. I've got my tea ready to go, I've got PPP here, we've got some fun stories to look at, we've got some weird stuff to look at. There's always weird stuff to look at in the world, right? Always, man. So, yes, I hope you're having a good day out there as well, and I hope you enjoyed the show we had yesterday with Mary Cena. Wow. She is a scary Mary, and I say that in the most affectionate, respectful way possible. She's got a real uncanny knack of giving me the goosebumps when she's talking. And I know when some of you people call in as well, she blows you away. So that was really good. And I know Nacy, he's wanting to come on and spend some time with Mary. So maybe the next time when she's on, we'll get Nacy in for the conversation as well, which will only add to the magic. So in the chat room, we've got in no particular order. Well, it is in some order because I just worked my way up the chat room. So we've got Jenny, Little Glob, Bet. Good to see you. Jimmy's in there. First Paranormal. And we've also got Algo, Cinemonk, Little Glob, I've done that one. Thor, good to see you, Thor. Blue Days, 2 days on the trot. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Yeah, we'll get a good laugh today, Blue Days. ZX, yes, I think we've done ZX. Rorschach, good to see you. India Kane, lots of love hearts. That's what we like to see. It's happy vibes all the way in here. We have got Connie kicking back, chilling out in there. Bernays, good to see you. Oh, Algo's got a bit of snow going on. You're in sunny Colorado or snowy Colorado as it is right now, right? We've also got, let's see. I think I've done most of these. More. Oh, poor Ron. He's really been under the weather. Pardon the pun recently. Lots of flooding going on where Ron is. So a lot of love, positive energy sent out to Ron. Nothing worse. Flooding, no good. I remember growing up in Fort Augustus, and when we used to get floods, the local river used to burst its banks. And luckily, touch wood, I wasn't living in the housing scheme where it used to get affected. A lot of my friends were, and it was horrendous. You know, once water gets in, it's just nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. So, thinking of you, Ron, big time. Who else have we got? I think that's about it for now. Jose Ramon, Francis, can't miss that one. The Wookiee, can't miss the Wookiee. And if I've missed anyone that's come in at the end, well, you shouldn't have been late, okay? Donnie, I see you. Jules as well. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. So, like I say, we're just going to chillax. We're going to take a look at some of the stuff I came across today. There's no real, like, deep woo. It's just literally chilling, chatting, taking a look at stuff, you know, having a laugh, kicking back, the way we do here on KBS2. So we've got some fun facts to get into as well along the way. We've got like 10 of the world's strangest hobbies. I hadn't even heard of a lot of these things, so that might be quite fun to go over. And I was taking a look at, now this came a bit too close to home for me today. A couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you remember, I was saying how the washing machine was making strange noises. Well, not long after that, it was on its final legs and it went. It eventually goes, folks, you know. So that was one thing, but I was looking for stories today and I came across this when I was on my little look. Now, hang on a minute. I don't even know if I've got the stories in here. I haven't. Dang. Wait a minute, folks. Wait a minute. Amateur hour. Wow. Gotta do it on the fly. Dang, dudes. Let's see. Where are we? There we go. So, now we've got two of them. Okay, we don't need two of them. Let's get rid of that top one. There we go. If I do that, so look at this, what happened to this woman when her washing machine went. Check that out. Now, like I say, when our washing machine went, it was nothing like this. This thing looks like a bomb went off inside it, doesn't it? Mum's kitchen fills with smoke after washing machine explodes mid-cycle. Now, whenever I put the washing machine on, I must admit, I usually have a sneaking suspicion in the back of my mind this might happen. Because I don't know about you people out there, okay, but too many kind of buttons for me. As long as it goes on, like if you hit enough buttons and you like kick it, as long as it comes on, I mean, that's all we really care about, right? I'm told that's not the way to do it, but that's usually the way I operate it. But look at that poor woman. Now, I hope, I'm thinking nobody was injured. I didn't really read the story here, but it says a Scots mum says that she thought a bomb had gone off. See, told you, when her washing machine literally exploded mid-cycle. Now, the only good thing I can think coming from this is whoever made this washing machine, surely they're like liable for something, right? Surely they're going to be giving you white goods till the day you leave this earth. It's the very least they can do for putting some kind of incendiary device in your kitchen. I mean, nobody's expecting to deal with like a bomb when you're doing the washing, right? Right? So maybe there's a good side to this story. So it says Laura Birrell shared shocking images of the destruction in the kitchen on Sunday after her Indesit. I hope anyone from the managing board of directors on Indesit get us fixed. All right, get fixed. Okay, all 45 of us are outraged, absolutely outraged at this behaviour here. And it puts me off ever using a washing machine again. So the next time Anne says to me, Kev, you need to put the washing on, this will be what I show her. I'll say, look, herein lies the problem, Anne. Look what could happen. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. So it blew up in Glasgow. I heard it. You actually heard it. And warned people not to go out with their machines on. It actually sounds like people might go out with their machines on, like as in they're trying to wear. Okay, too far. The manufacturers are investigating the incident. I'd bloody well hope so. You can't just like. You've got to make sure there aren't other potential ticking washing machines out there. Craziness, man. Which Laura said left a debris scattered around her kitchen, which was filled with smoke. Lucky it wasn't filled with Laura. The businesswoman took pictures of the scene, which show the bunker top having, or above the washing machine, seeming to have imploded. The top cover of the washing machine has also been torn apart, leaving large chunks of plastic and glass scattered across the floor. Laura claims that the machine drum inside the appliance exploded upwards through her worktop and the draining board. Man, that sounds like some kind of major incident was taking place at a home in Glasgow. I'm surprised Boris Johnson didn't convene some emergency Cobra meeting because of an explosion that registered so much on the Richter scale. It looks like it though, right? Could have done. Maybe I'm going a bit too far. But wow. I would say lucky, eh? Lucky. Come on, none of us, I would hope none of you out there have got similar kind of appliance-related disasters. Or is this like something you're looking at it going, oh, I remember that time. I remember that time when the missus put on the microwave and one of those ones. Done that a few times back in the day. You know, put something in to heat it up and you hear that and you realise you've left a fork in it or something like that, and it's sparking away like some fireworks display. No, just me? Right, well, you see, this is why I shouldn't be left alone. Neither Kev nor Dave is very domesticated. That's all I'm going to say, folks. So yes, that's one of the stories I came across today. I was thinking, if this happened early on in the morning, and let's face it, even if it happened late at night, you could use this, right, and the evidence that you've got with the photographs to probably wangle a day off work, couldn't you? I mean, this would be a legitimate excuse. Excuse me, yeah, just phoning in this morning, can't make it into work. Oh, what's happened? Well, you see, I've had a bit of a disaster. It's like my washing machine was sent here by the Tora Bora guys, and it just went absolutely haywire. I'm not buying this. Then you send the pictures and you're cool, right? You're cool. I reckon you'd get away with that. It's only going to get you maybe one day off work. It's not a long game strategy. But then I found another dude today who thought he had come up with a really cool way of getting a day off work. Check this nut job out. A man kidnaps himself to get out of going to work. You see, there's certain things that you can and you can't use when you're going to play this game. The exploding washing machine, listen, I get it. It's a card that you can't, once you've played the exploding washing machine card, you ain't ever playing that card again. But similarly, not many have gone as far as this. Kidnapping oneself to get out of work. You would think that's a bit kind of almost counterproductive, because the time you get off work is going to be spent under fake kidnapping kind of conditions where you're fake tied up and fake kind of captured, right? So it's kind of, I don't know. But then again, I'm employing logic and I'm deploying it to a situation where we have a man with no logic, right? You see what I'm saying? So there's no point trying to double think that or trying to outthink this cat, because we don't think like him. Or maybe you do. So a man in Arizona, was he from the Sedona region? Was he maybe going a bit too woo out there in the energies? I don't know. Recently came up with a completely ridiculous plan to get the day off work. Now, usually when somebody decides that they can't be bothered going to work, they'll simply blow up a washing machine. Maybe she did. maybe I'm missing the washing machine gate in the living room. Or would it be the kitchen? I suppose it would be, right? It's not the elephant in the lounge, it's the washing machine in the kitchen. Sounds like we're playing Cluedo. Well, this time it's the man in the desert, and how did we get here? You see, maybe this is why I should stick to Woo. Just talking about a typical day and stories I come across, it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. So desperate was he to get a day of work that he decided to fake his own kidnapping. I think, at the very least, if I was this cat's boss when I found out the rigmarole, the lengths that he had gone through to get a day off work, I think I'd give him a week off work. I think I'd congratulate him. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't trust him ever again. He certainly wouldn't be getting promoted, but you have to take your hat off. Doff one's cap with one's fluffy in between here. Shh, don't be clipping that one, folks. You need to clip that. So, 19-year-old genius or lunatic, depending on how you look at it, Brandon Souls was found and rescued by police later the same day, lying at the side of the road with his hands tied behind his back and a crumpled bandana shoved in his mouth. I thought I said a crumpled banana. I was going to say, well, at least his fake kidnappers fed him. Isn't that considerate of them, you know? He told officers that he'd been hit over the head by two masked men, driven to the spot next to the highway, and unceremoniously dumped at the roadside. I've always, unceremoniously, is that as opposed to like a band playing and them like carrying you out ceremonially, marching bands and fire? Yeah, okay, too far. An investigation, however, quickly revealed that this was false. Damn, must have been Sherlock Holmes on the case, right? I smell a rat here, Watson. Why would Sherlock Holmes be in Arizona? Why would a man be faking his own kidnapping? Eh? That's the world we live in now. There had been no kidnapping, I tell you. Yeah. wasn't a exploding washing machine. Wasn't a kidnapping. And when confronted about it, Souls didn't take long to fess up to the fact that he had fabricated the whole thing. I don't know why I'm finding his name as Souls really funny. I don't know why. It's not even particularly funny. But it says here, first, the subject informed the police that two masked men kidnapped him, struck him in the head, and took him in a vehicle before leaving him in the area where he was found. To what motive? What was the intentions of the fictitious masked men? What story had he concocted in his mind? He really didn't think about this long enough. I think we could all come up with a better fake kidnapping, right? So it says, Coolidge investigators conducted a thorough investigation and evidence was found that his story was made up and there was no kidnapping or assault. He was quickly arrested and charged with filing a false police report. He won't have to go to work anymore either, as his employer fired him as soon as they found out.
Come on, man.
Oh, I know, it's a bit rough, Joe. It's a bit rough, man. Yep, so there is. I will take a little listen to this. Let's see. Oh, hang on, folks. Bear with me. Here we go.
We've all had those days where you don't want to go to work at all, but have you ever seriously considered faking your own kidnapping?
Yeah, just a bizarre
No. Just a simple answer. No. Never.
story tonight out of Coolidge involving an elaborate plot, a police investigation, and now a confession. ABC 15's Ashley Perez.
Would you have described anything that I read out earlier on as elaborate? Does it sound like this man hatched an elaborate plot? It sounds like it's pretty like crazy right from the get-go, to be honest with you. It was failed. It was doomed from the get-go.
Perez in Coolidge tonight, walking us through the entire thing.
A person was driving down this dirt road. They looked on the ground and found a man with his hands bound and a bandana in his mouth. Although frightening, it is not what it seems.
This is how 19-year-old Brandon Souls was found February 10th, roughed up and helpless, telling Coolidge police he was kidnapped.
It was an inside job, ladies and gentlemen. It was an inside job.
In actuality, he did this to himself.
He informed us that he, at first, stuffed the bandana in his mouth, and afterwards, he took off his own belt and bound his hands with it.
All right, so this guy's like really daft. He's a daftie with an IE, not a Y. Glaswegian speak. We'll get to that in a moment. But this guy's definitely a daftie, right? He sounds like he was actually more than willing to share with the police what he had done to go about faking his own kidnapping. I shouldn't be employed. He should be locked up.
His own belt and scooted out, laid on the ground and scooted out near the side of the road where somebody could see him and waited.
And his plan worked, or at least he thought it would.
He informed us that he was hit in the head and stuffed in a car in front of his home. And this occurred a little after 7 o'clock.
I think, now listen, it's a hard one to pull off. Not everyone can actually manage this, and I wouldn't recommend it. But I think there would be more chance of actually pulling off the fake alien abduction card. I do. I really, really do. Because there's going to be that grey area where at least there's that ambiguity of maybe it did happen. You know, you've always got to keep that open mind as to maybe, you just never know. Whereas in this case, absolutely not. There's no grey area. Jeez Louise. And if anyone out there was ever thinking about faking their own kidnapping, let this be a cautionary tale to y'all. Please. Gotta tell you, the Darwin Award, right? Are we agreed this cat needs to be up for a Darwin Award? And he might actually go on to have a long, long, long career as being a nomination for the Darwin Award. He's only 19 and he's displaying such fine, exquisite levels of insanity already. He's like a seasoned pro at this crazy matrix we're living in, right?
But when we located video surveillance of in front of his home, we were able to see no such thing.
Brandon explaining this.
The confusion on the cop's face there. I mean, that cop, he's seen some things in his time. Cops see things that you can't unsee and things that we just shouldn't be seeing. But you've seen the look on that guy's face there. Look at it. It's just like look of, what?
We were able to see no such thing.
Brandon explaining the so-called kidnapping was over a large amount of money that his father had hid somewhere around town. That elaborate story all made up, along with a slew of text message evidence he claimed to have.
Coolidge Police Department detectives brought him in on...
He didn't even like... If you're going to do this, right, let's think about it. If you're going to go down this road, you've got to have some kind of template, some kind of blueprint. There must be a movie out there somewhere where some loonbull in fiction land like kidnaps himself and gets away with it. At least then you could try to recreate the insanity. Or perhaps maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. You never know. But listen, folks, I'm going to let you have about 60 seconds now, maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. And then we'll be back and we'll take a look at some of the crazy stuff that's been going on in and around Glasgow and around the UK. And we'll be getting into some very Glasgow, Scottishy, rhyming slang. Oh boy, oh boy. And remember, I'm not from Glasgow, so this is going to be news to me as well. And that's what she said. Big Shawnee from Wallsend. How you doing, Rick? How you doing, Rick? Good to see you. Paul from Newcastle. It's like we're doing the census in here, folks, isn't it? It's like we're all just kind of randomly shouting out where we're from. Kevin Inverness, or as I prefer to be called, Crocodile Inverness. Donny. There you go. Again, I should slap you over the head with a didgeridoo. Why? Because you're trying to work out that guy by using logic. That guy can't spell logic. You can't work out the illogical with logic, man. Why didn't he just pull a sickie? Shh, we'd have nothing to talk about, dude. Oh, no, hang on a minute. Now, stepping into Kev's psychiatric unit for a moment here, my counselling suite. We've had a revelation from the very comfortable sofa. I remember doing kidnapping roleplay with my younger female cousin during teenage years. I'm going to leave that comment anonymous and very, very, very creepy. We'll be back in a minute, folks. Don't go anywhere. Lots of fun and games on the way. You're going to like what we've got. We've got lots to laugh at, lots to look at. And then we'll be jumping on over onto the main KBS show. We're liking the new music. I'm liking it. So, if you were here yesterday, you will remember we were talking about some mysterious Scottish balls. There was lots of knobs and lots of bits hanging off them, and we had a bit of fun and laughter. Bit of a good time, you know? Bit risky. Well, today I've got something completely different. Because what goes on in Scottish parks will astound you, ladies and gentlemen. And today it's not Scottish balls we're talking about, no. We're talking about fighting tits in the middle of Glasgow. No, I'm not making it up, honestly, look. Massive tit fight breaks out in a Scottish park. The first rule of Tit Fight Club is try not to laugh while saying Tit Fight Club. See, I can join. It says they may be cute little creatures. Absolutely delightful little things, especially when they come in pairs. But as these pictures show, blue tits are not just something you get in the winter, but they may be just territorial as any other animal. Oh, did I go there? A photographer captured the rare moment a pair got involved in a tussle while out in his local park. Scott Williams, 54, took these pictures in Ayr, Scotland, after spotting the two birds coming to blows. Look at them. Look at them. That guy looks well hard. Look, the hairdo going on there, man. Dropping a heavy right wing on him. I'm putting money on the one that's got the upper hand. Always hold the high ground, ladies and gentlemen. Hold the high ground. So it said he'd visited the park to snap some of the local wildlife when he came across a bonanza of fighting tits and managed to spot the pair. Whilst looking down his lens. I'm trying not to laugh, folks. I'm trying not to choke myself here. The pictures show two blue tits squabbling on the floor, as one of them is pinned down by the other. Photographer Scott said, I was trying to photograph some birds in flight and noticed these two birds having a squabble in flight. Alright, mate, what were they doing? Just think out my way. Right? Was squabbling away. How does he know they were squabbling? Maybe they were just having a friendly tit-tat. Dear Lord. Oh, boys and girls. Oh, my. Anyhow, meanwhile in a Scottish park, there was these birds and they were fighting, and it was a funny old story, so it was. But that's not the only funny story we've got with animals coming out of the UK. Just when I was trying not to break a rib laughing at that last story, I come across this. Goats that took over a Welsh town are now shopping at Primark. I mean, I don't even know what part we need to start on here. The fact that we had some invasory force of goats taking over and invading a Welsh town that nobody spoke about. Or the fact that now we've got animals shopping amongst humans at Primark. And listen, on a good day in Primark, it's hard to tell what's human and what's not. I shop there. It's not like I'm having a go at something I don't do myself, folks. Come on. So look at this. Look at them. They've been spotted queuing up outside the barbers and invading hotels. And at this point, I'm telling you folks, there's been an upgrade to the animals. The animals have been upgraded. Remember we had the Australian boys on and they were talking about the beams of light in Uluru and that magical thing that took place on the 21st of December on 2020? And there'd be a lot of people getting activated. The frequency would be rising for people. Well, the animals certainly seem to have been catching on, don't they? If they're not fighting in a Glasgow park, they're literally invading and taking back towns. Nobody's talking about it, apart from us. So it says here that Will Roberts came across at least 15 of the curious goats. Curious? They were pathfinders, man. They're an expeditionary force. I'm telling you. Look, ZX has been under. He's actually been captured by them. He's sitting there like that. At last, freedom! Somebody's talking about it. There's hushed words going around the valleys right now. Kev Baker's trying to free us. Yeah. So it's 15 of these curious goats outside Primark. No wonder they were curious. Even humans don't know what's going on in Primark at the best of times. Unfortunately for them, though, the government's closure of non-essential shops during lockdowns has forced them to shop at the Pound World. Now, it means that they'll have to wait several weeks before they reopen. Look at them. They're raging. They can't figure it out. They've been dying to get their hands on a new summer coat. So it says, Will said, I was cycling to work at 8 a.m. expecting to pass through an empty park, Lalundo, when I noticed goats heading straight for Primark. Glitch in the Matrix, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this one. Look at it. Oh, look. Look, it's like an optical illusion. It looks like it's only got one eye. It's like the all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye of Mendez, the goat head, horns. It's got the whole thing going on, the whole shebang. So it made me laugh, so I stopped to take some photos. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, boy, oh, boy. Boyo, as they would say in Wales. He who laughs at last, in this case, may well laugh longest. Don't. I tell you, once they clock you laughing at them, dude. I thought I was getting accustomed to seeing them about, but they kept managing to pop up in new and more surreal places. So in the spring lockdown last year, the goats who live on the Great Orme headland by the Welsh seaside town achieved a global notoriety for invading the traffic-free streets. So it's a toss-up between the goats of Wales and the snow gritters of Scotland. That's like two things that have become infamous during lockdown, right? You know, the whole Greta Thunberg, or Greta Thunberg, sorry. Yeah. Who knew? Who knew? So we've been invaded by gritters. You've got goats. What's next, ladies and gentlemen? What's next? At least they weren't masked goats. You know what I'm saying? Before the pandemic, the 120-strong army of goats were more commonly spotted munching on grassland on the Great Orme. But then they seen an opportunity. But they are now regular visitors who seem to enjoy having a free roam of the deserted streets, climbing walls, eating plants and hedges, and generally causing mischief. They are descended from Kashmir mountain goats. Oof, make a good jumper out of them. And were given to Lalundo, I can't say that word, Lalundo, as a gift from Queen Victoria. They must be bloody ancient. Oh, alright, not those precise ones, I get you. I get you. But we'll be back in a moment. I've got more craziness. Craziness, you say? Oh, crazy all the way. You think you've seen it all, but there's always new levels of absurdity just waiting around the corner, isn't there? Never think we've seen it all, ladies and gentlemen. Never think you've seen it all. What if I was to tell you the words Easter and egg have now been banned? Hey, it is what it is, right? Words Easter and egg have been dropped from chocolate treats because, God forbid, would offend somebody, right? Cadbury's have just saved the world, ladies and gentlemen. 2 words at a time. Come on, we can do it. We're all in it together. Come on, let's get behind it. 2 words at a time, folks. We can save the world. And if not, there's goats ready to take over anyway, right? You know, I'm really lucky because I get to do this every day. I get to come and hang out with you people, and I get to look at and talk about some of the things I come across, some of the things that interest me, some of the things that we like to investigate, explore, the ancient, the woo. And in many ways, if I wasn't doing it for a show, I'd be doing it for a hobby anyway. We've all got our own hobbies that we can think of, right? We've all had things. Maybe later in life, maybe you've let your hobbies slip by the wayside. It's always good to have something, though, an interest, away from all of the real world stuff, right? But when I went looking today, I thought, what kind of weird stuff can I look for? What weird things do people get up to? So I thought, well, what hobbies are there out there that are maybe less popular? Things that maybe people get up to, but they don't quite admit to, maybe, in many instances. Maybe that's the case. Maybe these things are far more popular than what we realise. It's just not many people are willing to admit that their number one thing to do to escape the Matrix is, number one, tree shaping. Tree shaping, ladies and gentlemen. Now, yes, if what you're thinking is like little bonsai trees and little things like that, it's exactly what it sounds like. People like to go out and cut shapes in trees. It's a thing. Number 2, beetle fighting. Yep, it's a thing. Choose different types of beetle to fight against each other. Beetle fighting enthusiasts sometimes breed different species of beetles for fighting. You can find videos of it online, but while some might find it interesting, others might find it a little bit gross. Now, hang on, I'm not buying any of it. There surely can't be beetle fighting online. My word, what a strange world we actually live in. Now this was what I was met with today. This as well. Look at this. Look, that was me getting ready to watch the latest high altitude test of the Starship. Yes, that very phallic shaped thing that Elon Musk continuously throws into near Earth orbit. So I went to look at it. You can see a thing. And then on its way down, cameras, they cut out. 5 minutes 49 in. But anyhow, look at this, look. Beetle fighting's a thing. Goodness gracious. Will we? Will we? Can we? BBC, they'll probably hit us. That actually helps speed it up, eh? Top tip, ladies, top tip. Over to Kev's counselling clinic now. Life hacks, ladies and gentlemen, life hacks. If you happen to go dating, girls, and you know, you're getting to know somebody a bit better, and the conversation comes around. So what do you like to get up to? Well, you know, it's not the most common of hobbies I've got, but I don't know if I should tell you. No, please tell me. And they share with you that they're a cockroach breeder and fighter. They're a coach of insects. No, run, ladies and gentlemen, run, because they're probably about 3 or 4 years away from being some homicide investigation suspect. Probably. There's probably going to be a trail of bodies behind these people. That's all I can say. Anywho, that isn't the weirdest ones that we've got here. No, because the next up we've got news raiding. Yep, news raiding. Ever heard of that? News raiding? This consists of appearing as a bystander in the background of television shows. Now, this for me is the ultimate in dopamine craving, isn't it? Wow, when you make it your thing to turn up at events just so you can get your 2 seconds of fame in the background. Dang, dude, that's not in existence. If you find yourself doing that, ladies and gents, have a word. Have a word. There's a reason why your friends have deserted you if that's what you've taken to doing. So very few have the resolve, the planning skills, or the perfect star alignment to call this a hobby, and not just a mere pipe dream. There's people out there that dream of doing this. This is like their thing. This is on their bucket list to have that 20 seconds of fame behind, you know, one of the Sky News prostitutes. Really? To appear behind Van Jones or Anderson Cooper and his green screen? Really? Come on. So there's only been one truly great news raider, and that's Paul Yarrow from the UK. Has appeared in many broadcasts, and you can check out his collection here. I call that crisis acting. And number 4. How about entering the world of extreme ironing? Now, I had heard this was a thing. You see them jumping out the back of planes and ironing stuff. No, they do. Right? Yes, it's a competitive sport, also known as EI, Echo India. Extreme ironing consists of ironing clothes in different, usually extreme situations while rock climbing, surfing, or on a kayak. Shall we dip our toe into the very competitive world of extreme ironing? Yes, we will. Let's have a look here. Let's see then. Let's see. Holy shimoly. Just pictures of it. Up a tree. That's not extreme. That's not extreme. That's cheating. That's crap. That's extreme, especially if it's going fast. Nah, I like that. I like it. Like it. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. So far, I'm going with the guys in downtown Fallujah. Oh, see, right, there's something wrong with people that go up rocks like that. Why do you need to go up a rock like that? And how did you get up there? And more to the point, how are you going to get down? How are you going to get down safely? I'd be clinging to that like a limpet. I'd be like a barnacle on the side of a ship. I'd be hanging to the top of it. My fingernails would be fleeing off. I'd be slipping off with the sweat that's running out of me. There would be bodily fluids going everywhere. The last thing I'm thinking of doing is bloody ironing a shirt when I'm up there. What's that all about? Oh, it's new underpants I'd be needing. Let me tell you, folks. People that do rock climbing and stuff like that, something wrong with them. What? Why? Why? What the? Oh, come on now. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Oh.
How dare you?
Exactly. That makes me feel sick. I know what you're saying. I don't have to look at it, right? Of course. Look, see? Lunatics. There's one hard and fast rule when it comes to jumping out of planes, ladies and gentlemen, and I will share this with you only once. It's a Kevism, but it works and it'll hold through and it might save you one day. Unless unless you see the pilot leaving his seat and jumping out with a parachute on, there is absolutely no bloody reason on this man or woman or 150 other genders type person's earth that you should be jumping from a moving aircraft. If, however, you do see the pilot moving and he's looking to eject or get out of there, then by all means, because to my reckoning, planes that go down without pilots, they're pretty successfully no survivors, right? So unless you see the pilot going, hang on, I just sit down, chill out. You know he's taking that baby down at some point, right? It's my one rule. My one rule, the golden rule. Live by it, folks. Live by it or die by it. One of the two. So if we go back to my crazy things here. Stone skipping. That's another hobby that people get up to. The record, right? You know, you skim the stones. Used to love doing that as a child. Never ever thought I'd be taking it up as like some kind of hobby or, dare I say, a professional sport. 51 bounces. 51! Who the hell threw that? Eh? It was like the Goliath? Some Nephilim arm? Did it have the sixth finger on it to give it that last minute kind of the action it needs? I don't know. 51 bounces. Next up, geocaching. That's quite a popular one now, actually, isn't it? Quite fancied that before my lungs gave out. I suppose I could be a game chair geocacher, right? I could just like go there on Google Earth. Hey, I've been there. So this is a free real-world treasure hunting hobby using technology. There are hidden containers, excuse me, called geocaches with items inside. Give me 2 seconds, folks. There we go. We're good. Don't worry, I'm not going to choke on stream. I wouldn't do that. It'd probably be the first time I get 1 million hits right now. How ironic would that be? So it says that this hobby is good for exploring the world and sharing experiences with other members. If you're interested in getting started, check out the geocaching website. It's a bit like that randonauting as well. That's that other thing that kind of people were doing a lot. Suing somebody? Like suing people? That's a hobby? Okay, this belongs more in the comedy category, but it seems that there is at least one person who made suing into an actual hobby. Now, despite being incarcerated at a federal prison in Kentucky, Jonathan Lee Riches, why do they always have 3 names? There's another top tip, girls. Ask these potential suitors, these datesayers, what's your full name? And if they like out with a Jonathan Lee Riches or one of these kind of crazy 3-name things going on, run. So it made it into the Guinness Book of Records. He was named as the person who's filed the most lawsuits ever. So what did he do next? He filed a lawsuit against the folks at Guinness. He filed lawsuits against the New England Patriots coach, Bill Belichick, former President George W. Bush, Somali pirates, Britney Spears, and even Martha Stewart. He also filed lawsuits against Plato, Nostradamus, James Hoffa, various Buddhist monks, the Lincoln Memorial, the Eiffel Tower, 3 Mile Island, and in his latest court filings, he's wrote about how he sued Black History Month, the president of Iran, and butter substitute. I can't believe it's not butter. Wow, eh? Damn. That's what you call somebody that's in a bit of litigation, eh? A litigation-holic. Litigaholic? Who knows? Element collecting. What? So you collect elements from the periodic table. People do this in different ways, of different purities. Heavy elements, poisonous and radioactive ones are not recommended to collect. Now that reminds me of something really weird I've seen. Pretty cool at the same time. Let me show you this. I know people are going to freak out at this just because of who it is and what it is, right? But I want to show you this, right? Where is it? A better picture. Let's see. Here we go. Check this out though, folks. Look at that. It's a periodic table. It's everything. You know who that belongs to, folks? Do you know who it belongs to? Get ready, it's a trigger. It's a trigger. 66 in the chat. I'm going to trigger you now. That's in Bill Gates' office. Yep. Bill Gates' office, there's a wall with the entire periodic table with samples of each element. Told you. 66 in the chat. Wow, thank you all for being here. Remember, hit subscribe, hit like, hit share. And if you want to become a member of the channel, hit the join button and you can get in every Sunday for 2 hours of chilling out, woo, fun, you name it, we do it in the member zone. All right then, so before we go, fancy a chick murray. That's Scottish slang for a curry, right? Chick murray, right? So we're going to look at some Scottish rhyming slang. It'll be a good laugh on our way out the door. Before we head on over for the main Kev Baker radio show on tfrlive.com, please join me for that in 22 minutes time, so we'll rattle through these, folks. It says here, we scroll down, we'll get into it. Chick murray, curry. So, though many have started using another famous Scottish Murray, an Andy Murray, for this one, it'll always be original for the best. And best for us, it says, an example, fancy a wee chick Murray for dinner tonight. I can't be bothered cooking. Next up, corned beef, or deef. Deaf, we say deef. Some people say deef in Glasgow. Next up, what have we got here? Half inch. That's for pinch. Now that's to steal something. You half inch it. You pinch it. See? Mick Jagger, blagger. I think that's a universal one. I really do. We've got the Hampden Roar. Score. So you say, what's the Hampden Roar? As in, what's the score? As in, you want to know what's going on. What's the Hampden for later? Where are we going? There you go. Single fish, Lillian Gish. Going for a... Yep, so if you're out in the pub and somebody says, I'm away for a single fish, you know what they're away to do, ladies and gentlemen. You know what they're away to do. Your Gregory Pecks. That's what you call somebody's glasses. Get your Gregory Pecks on, man. Skyrocket. Pocket. Panbreed. Deed. As in dead, deleted, expired, no longer here. You're panbreed. Right? You're out of here. Is that? No? Hank Marvin. That's what you say when you're starving, obviously. And that, ladies and gentlemen, there's that Loch Ness Monster picture. Look at it. It's a belter. That concludes. Kev's chair is in the way. What's it in the way of? In the way of what? Was it round here? Was it in the way of something? I'll scroll back up. We've got Hank Marvin. I'll scroll slowly. You'll see it all. I'll move my chair around here. Whee. There you go. Pan-breed, deed. I'm telling you, that budgie is pan-breed. In other words, it's not sick, it's deed. Yeah. Skyrocket. Stick that in your skyrocket and save it for later. Yep. Gregory Peck's the glasses. Single fish, Lillian Gish. That's one of the best ones. I've never ever heard of anyone saying that, by the way, folks. Just so you know, nobody has ever said to me in the pub, Kev, hold my pint, I'm away for a Lillian Gish or a single fish. Somebody said they're away for a single fish, I'd say, get me one, will you? Oh, fancy a single fish. I don't think I'd like what he came back with, though. Because I don't think we'd be talking about the same thing. So, listen, I hope I've managed to pass a little bit of time for you. Hope I've given you something to giggle at. Hope you realise now that your part of the world is just as crazy as my part of the world over here, and vice versa. It's a crazy, crazy world that we're living in. Now, I'll be joined by at least Nacy after the break, because I see a message on Skype. It may be Jimmy, it may be not. But either way, I'll be live in 18 minutes. We're going to get into something ancient, something woo, something borrowed, something blue. No, definitely something ancient, definitely something woo. So hope you can all join me over on tfrlive.com, TalkStream Live, Paranormal Radio app, or over on KBS and Disco. So until next time, folks, keep it real. And you know what I say, keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo.